All right, we are back in Wisconsin. I think that's where we're at. Let me make sure the chat is up and running. Okay, we're ready to go. Close my bedroom door. I call it a bedroom. It's supposed to be a bedroom, but I've made it into an office. Right. Okay. Hey, I was hauling corn in from the last harvest. I didn't realize until I logged in today that when I logged out from the last live stream, I didn't save the game. So it went back about 10 minutes maybe. And so I had to finish that corn up that I was working on. But I got it done. Andy's in the house. Dennis is here. There's Scorpion. Hello, everybody. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. And we'll wait for the delay. It's always that. Dennis says it's good. Thank you. Sounding fine in Great Britain. Scorpion can hear me in Texas. Okay. No work from home today? You're getting spoiled. They let you work from home like that. I'll tell you what, I'd do anything if I didn't have to have a commute. I had a commute most of my time that I worked for the government. Not bad. It was a half hour a day, but a half an hour is a lot more miles here than I would imagine a half hour drive would be in Texas or someplace near a city. Mine was mostly highway kind of road. Whereas I'm sure living close to a city, you got stop and go city traffic, so you're probably not traveling that long a distance, but the time is about the same. Bill's here. Hey, Bill. Brian's in the house. Hey, Brian. "45-minute drive usually." Yeah, that's what happened to me because I live on the coast, which is in a resort area. So the traffic can be atrocious during the season, the tourist season. And so if I went to work early in the morning, it was about a half-hour drive. But it was after I got off work in the middle of the afternoon that I hit the traffic. And then it would be, instead of a half hour, it'd be 45 minutes to an hour. Fun times had by all. I got an email from Lynn, Arctic Lynn, yesterday saying she missed Tuesday's live stream and was looking forward to being here on Thursday. So we'll see if she shows up. I know she's got a lot of stuff going on right now. There's Miss Nelson. Hello, how are you? Now, let's see. How did I get over there? I got some wheat to do here. I just checked my crops on the other farm, and they're not ready yet. I didn't think they would be, but I checked anyway. Thank goodness there's no fence here. Let's unload this monster. An hour drive? That's terrible. Well, this big combine should make quick work of these fields. So what's new, everybody? We've got some stormy weather we've had all week now. Again, as we did last year, we've had a very mild winter. What is it right now? Let's see what the temperature is. It's about 55 degrees out, rainy and kind of windy. We've had 20 to 30 mile an hour winds for the last couple of days, along with sometimes heavy rain. Yesterday we had some heavy rain and strong winds, and so the rain was going sideways and got the front porch all wet. And generally that doesn't happen, but it's been warm. It gets down to about 45 at night and 55 during the day, and kind of a mild winter, really. But it's gloomy. When you look outside, it's just gray. A 31-mile drive. Yeah, see, I did about 30 miles a day each way. But for me, you know, at times the traffic's not as bad. We don't have city traffic, so it takes me about a half hour. It's a little less than 30 miles. It's more probably like maybe 25 miles. But again, if I hit traffic, you know, now that was one job. One job I had, it was a temporary job. I was replacing a post for another person that was on medical leave, and I had to drive about an hour every day. But that was only for about a 6-7 months period. Wasn't too bad. Pretty little coastal town, so I really enjoyed it. It's very quaint. 75? Can you do that in Texas? 75? Holy crud. We have one or two highways that we can do 70 on. But for the most part, it's 55 in most of Oregon. There's a couple of I-5. Majority of I-5 you can do about 65 to 70. But it's just about that one road's all we can do. Posted to 65. 80 in Utah? Goodness gracious. You people like to fly down there. Well, Utah, that wouldn't be down, would it? It would be up. Well, of course, depending on where you're living. If you're living in Alaska, it's down. If you're living in Texas, it'd be up. I've always wanted to go to Utah. I wanted to go to Colorado, too. I have friends that live in Utah. And one of these days, maybe I'll go visit them. Always wanted to go to New Mexico, too. My mother, my biological mother, was born in New Mexico. And I've always wanted to go there just to look around. My mom, unfortunately for me, had passed when I was 6 years old, giving birth to my younger sister. And so I didn't remember much about her. I don't remember much about her, but she's still my mother, and I'd kind of like to go and see where her roots were. Yeah, Utah is a pretty state as far as well, you know what? Every state has something pretty about it, except for California. Yeah, I get in trouble when I talk like that. I said something derogatory about California one time in a video, and I had somebody just went ape on me, telling me that, by God, California people paid my wages, and, you know, oh, it just didn't have a sense of humor, I guess. All right, I just made a mess of this field. But come on, a state that claims to be the prettiest state in the nation, and you can't walk down the streets without stepping in human poo. That's not right. Around 100? Man, Bill, no wonder. You weren't doing that fast when you got hit with your motorcycle, did you? That's really flying. That'd be scary. Well, I guess the scary thing about it is the fact that if you live in an area like we live, where there's only about one highway that you can do 70 on, the rest is 55, going 100 would be frightening because you're not used to it. And I often said that nobody would ever get in an automobile accident if you were the only person on the road. So when you're on the road, your chances of being in an accident, in my opinion, are dependent on other people. Like I used to tell my kids when I taught them how to drive, do everything you're supposed to do to stay safe, but remember everybody else on the road is an idiot. So you have to drive for them. You have to watch out for them. You're constantly using your mirrors and looking around and watching, and don't trust people. If you see somebody with a turn signal on, which is rare in America nowadays, it's like people don't know how to use a turn signal. They don't know what it's for. If it doesn't control their cell phone, they don't know what the hell to do with it. But anyway, I would tell them, don't trust somebody if they got a turn signal on, because at the last minute they'll change their mind and turn in front of you. Because people are idiots. Even the school buses. Yeah, now think about it. If you were a school bus driver, you'd want to get those kids to school and off your bus as fast as you could. I would. Get these little boogers to school and get off my bus. Almost got this one in one pass. Well, you'd think they did, wouldn't you, Scorpion? I'm not the only one to say so. I watch a guy that's from Great Britain, lives in America now, and he bought a motorcycle, and that's not what he does on his videos. But he bought a motorcycle, and he was talking about traffic one day and talking about the fact that Americans just don't seem to know what turn signals are for. He says, I think I'm the only one in the state that uses their turn signals. And you do notice that if you watch. Trucks and SUVs. Anthony Blair's here. Hello, Anthony. Hope you're doing well, sir. Good to see the whole gang here. We need to get a hold of Craig. I haven't seen Craig in a while. Yeah, that's a problem. When somebody uses one, never turns them off. But see, we used to, it used to be trained, use your turn signals, you use them when you're changing lanes. And nobody seems to do that. I still do that. If I'm changing lanes, I'll use my turn signal. Like let's get an example would be that people don't think you even have to anymore. Let's say you're on a 2-lane highway, one lane going each way, and you come up to a section where it splits into a 4-lane highway. The slower traffic is supposed to go into the right lane. Okay, so basically you're going to be changing lanes because usually the when they add that, the right-hand lane is not the lane that you're driving off of. It's the lane you need to get over into. And I always use my turn signal to indicate, hey, I'm going over to the slow lane. I don't consider it the slow lane. It's just the non-passing lane. In America, you're supposed to stay in the right-hand lane unless you're passing. That's the way it's supposed to be, but nobody drives like that, of course. People get in that passing lane and then never leave. There are just some people that can't stand to be behind somebody else. You know, they always got to be in the lead. What was that? Lee Iacocca, the guy that used to run Plymouth Dodge and that car company. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. That was his motto. Hard to use signals, phone is in the hand. That's what I said. What they need to do is make the turn signal access your phone somehow, and then people would use it again. Right. Drive with your knees. I've seen women do that, driving with their knees when they're putting makeup on while they're driving down a highway. I told the story about driving 60 miles an hour down a highway, and the lady next to me in the passing lane is putting makeup on. Now, I'm not talking regular makeup. She's doing her eyelashes. So obviously she can't see very well because she's got her hands in front of her eyes, and her eyes are focused on the mirror to see what her eyelashes are doing. And I'm just assuming that she was driving with her knees. I don't know what she was steering with. I thought, oh my God, we're going to have an accident here. I pulled back, let her go by. She's just tooling down the highway. But I did notice that she was doing that for a good 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, I've never curled my eyelashes. I don't know how long it takes. Mine are just naturally curly. All right, I think I'm almost done with the wheat. That was quick. There was more corn than wheat in this area. Are you kidding? Feet up on the dash? That's hilarious. It's awful dangerous if you think about it. And the reason I say that is things can happen in a split second. If something happens in a split second, you cannot get your feet down and your butt back in the seat in a split second. It takes time. And a lot of things can happen in a split second. Anybody remember the old Top Gun movie? I guess Tom Cruise is making a new one. 30 years later, I saw an advertisement for it yesterday. They've had a trailer on it before, but the one I saw yesterday, they added about half of the trailer was behind the scenes video. And that was kind of interesting. And I heard at some point, Val Kilmer was in that movie. Now, I don't know if you've seen Val Kilmer in the last few years, but well, let's just say, does this chair make my butt look fat? Val, it's not the chair. But anyway, I'm thinking he'd have to lose a little bit of weight or he wouldn't be able to fit in one of them pilot seats to be in the remake or the redo or the sequel or whatever it is. All righty then. Let's find my grain trailers. I think that's it for the wheat. I don't think there's any more over there. I think that was corn. I know that it gives me motion sickness. I don't know what he did with the camera. The camera's mess up on it. Well, he may have done it on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, it wiggles a little, doesn't it? Man, I got a little bit more wheat than I thought I did. Pardon me. We're off to the market. Yeah, that piece of equipment sure wiggles, doesn't it? I think what they've done is they've got the camera set up so if you look at the tractor and trailers that I am driving now, the background video doesn't move. The tractor and the trailers are moving along with the terrain, you know. So if the terrain is rough, they're bucking back and forth and bouncing and as they would do. So he's got the cameras messed up. Fresh Legends here. Hello, Fresh. King's in the house. King Kid, how are you, buddy? I was thinking about putting a third trailer on. I don't know. Maybe. Because obviously 2 trailers aren't enough for that combine. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll get a third color. I got red, kind of a greenish color. Maybe I'll put a blue on. Now see, my craps aren't... My craps? Did I say craps? I did, didn't I? My crops aren't ready yet, so I should speed time up a little bit. How do you connect loads of trailers that hold vehicles? Huh? I'm not quite sure if I understand. These trailers are kind of hard to hook up because they've got a articulated dolly under the front end there, so it moves. It's kind of hard to line them up. Anthony says he's doing good. It's always good to hear. All right. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get both of them on there. Might be able to. Drop that one. I'm doing great, sir. How do you connect multiple low loaders? Well, it depends whether they're able to be connected. Some of them aren't. They got to have a hitch in the back. You notice these gravity wagons have a hitch in the back there. Some of the trailers don't, and you can't hook them up together. I haven't seen anything about FS21 yet. I think Scorpion sent me a message earlier that said they weren't coming out with anything in 2020. I haven't seen anything about it yet. Unless you guys know anything about it, that you want to talk about. Has anybody else seen anything about it? How do you get a hitch in the back? You'd have the mod author would have to build it that way. Bill says he hasn't heard anything. They're not having an FS21. I think that's what Scorpion told me, that they weren't having a FS20 or 21. I thought you said 20, but 3 new DLCs. It depends on what the DLCs are. If they're mirrors for tractors that we already have, or you get to put new wheels on, or a new set of plows that nobody can use. Those are all well and good, but those are not DLCs that I want to pay for. I want something that changes the way the game plays. I want something that adds new fruit, or a process of what you can do with the fruit. That's what I'd like to see in a DLC. And the thing of it is, here's the thing. I've said I can say stuff like that. I could say, okay, I want them to add processing of products so you can haul them to some place that's going to make them into flour or bread, or canola into oil, things like that. And people say, well, they'd have to really change the game. No, they wouldn't. Modders do it every damn day, because we've had all those things in mods. If a modder can do it with the tools that Giant has given us, they can do it. Yeah, Kata, that's what I think too. I haven't quit playing it, but it's a big part of my YouTube page. So I play it, if for nothing else, for that. But I mean, you guys have heard me ever since FS13. Every time a new version of the game comes out, I complain that, my God, it's the same game. Every time it's the same game. All they do is make the graphics a little better, or add a tractor they didn't have before. But as far as the way the game plays and the content changes maybe slightly, but not really. Everything plays exactly the same as it did in FS13, 15, 17. They all play the same. And for all intents and purposes, it's the same game. I had somebody ask me one time about FS19, if they should get it, if there's enough changes to make it, better game. And I had to say that if you took somebody that didn't know anything about this game at all and showed them videos from, say, 2015, 2017, and 2019, I dare say they couldn't tell a difference. They couldn't tell you which version of the game they were watching, because literally nothing has really changed, not to any extent anyway. I mean, you can argue that maybe the graphics are a little bit better, maybe the physics are a little bit better. That's all fine, but that doesn't necessarily make a game. So let's say you take a game that is a role-playing game and it's got a story to it, and you've played that game all the way through. and you enjoyed the story, but the story's over and you know what's going to happen in the next version of it. And they come out and say, look, we've added some better graphics. There are going to be some people that like the game well enough that they'll buy it a second time to get the better graphics. But there's a whole lot of other people who say, I've already played it. I know how the story ends. I put my 100 hours in. I'm not going to buy the game again just because it's got a little bit better graphics. That's kind of the way this particular game is. They bring out a new version, but it's the same game. And don't get me wrong, I've gotten my money worth out of it. I enjoyed playing it. So, you know, I'm not complaining in that respect. I enjoyed the game. I still enjoy the game. I've gotten the money I paid for it back many times in entertainment value. So I'm not complaining. I just like to see it do better. Yeah, that combine is something, isn't it? Yeah, the only problem with the modders, relying on the modders, is they changed the game enough that the modders are having a tough time doing what they did. Modders had it made in 2015, they could go hog wild. They did some very marvelous, wonderful things for mods in 2015 and 2017. But 2019, they're struggling, I think. I think the modders are struggling because why haven't we had some really, really, really good mods out? Even things that we had in 2017 that haven't come out in 2019. You know, we had some marvelous mods that worked very well in 17, and they're struggling to get them to work at all in 19. How's Daryl doing? I hope you're not working yourself to death, sir. Yeah, I would hope so, Dava. But we'll see. Maybe if there's nothing going to be, and maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe it just takes time to make the changes. And that's why there's not going to be a 2021 or whatever. Well, that's true, Scorpion, but you don't really know that they haven't been working on developing a newer version up to this point. They could have been doing that for the last 2 years. I'm glad you're doing well, Daryl. There's a game that I play, and it's a role-playing game, and it's in it's an MMO, and they come out with an expansion about every 2 years, but they don't stop working on the game, waiting for the expansion. They've got 2 teams working on the game. They have 1 team working on the new expansion. They have a second team that works on game content in between the expansion. So this is a role-playing game that has a very extensive storyline to it. What they do is when you've finished an expansion, and now you got to wait 2 years until they make a new come out with a new expansion. Well, what do you do in that period of time? Well, this other group works on content that fills in story, or maybe adds a little bit of new story, and they put it out in patches. They'll have a big patch every 6 months or so that adds new content to the game that keep people going until the next expansion is ready. And I'll give you an example. I've started an 8th account. I've got 8 characters in this game that I'm playing. I started a new one from the get-go, and there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 expansions, or 3 expansions. There's the normal game and 3 expansions. And I started the normal game over, the base game. And I got through the base game. I'm waiting for the first expansion to start in the game for me. In the meantime, there's been over 100 quests that were created to keep me busy until I can actually start that new DLC. So that's how they keep their players going in between the DLCs, and I think it's just a wonderful thing that they do to keep the players playing their game. Where'd that combine go? There it is. Cattle and crops. Well, Daryl, I'll tell you what. This is my opinion only, for what it's worth. When it came out, I bought it. I played it for maybe, 5 or 6 hours, and I did not care for it at all. And I stopped playing it, and I haven't picked it up since. I just didn't like the way it played. I didn't like it at all. I don't know what anybody else's experience are, but they wanted a little bit of money for the game, and I bought it. And I tell you, I heard and read a little bit about it before I bought the game. And had I not had a YouTube page, I would not have bought the game. But I knew a lot of people were looking forward to Cattle and Crops, and I thought, well, there's no way that I can say anything about the game, good or bad, unless I played it. So I went ahead and bought it. But I think had I not had the YouTube page, I would never have bought it. Oh, Red Dead? Oh, yeah. I'm still playing Red Dead. I've played through the game I've got about like 5 versions of the game I'm playing at different stages throughout the storyline. I've got one game of Red Dead that I play where I got him. He's got hair down to his back and a beard down to his belly, and all he does is sit out in the mountains and hunt and fish and I just ride around every once in a while. I'll ride around and do a quest. And I have been getting all the achievements with him, with that one. That's kind of fun. And I've got one that I tried to do a little bit of a bad guy, but I can't play a bad guy. I've never been able to play a bad guy. I tried, and I just can't help it. When I get asked a question, and you can choose between being mean and bad or not, I just can't be bad. I just can't go around the Old West and shoot somebody for no reason. If somebody shoots at me and they're going to kill me, yeah, shoot back. I just can't be a bad guy. I don't know why. Just can't do it, even though I know it's a game. Dustin, how are you? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I have to laugh every time I say that. Thanks for asking. I used to watch some YouTubers. You probably heard me say this before. I used to watch some YouTubers, 2 guys that played together. They happen to play World of Warcraft and make videos. And one of them would come on and start talking. The second one would come on and start talking. And you were well into the video when one of the guys would say to the other guy, "By the way, I'm doing just great. Thanks for asking." That just cracked me up. Because the guy never did ask how he was doing. Well, all the wheat is off. Now I gotta start working the fields. Don't run over that pole. My other crops haven't come up. I'm waiting for the cotton. I'm gonna be a cotton picker. Oh, you're playing through Fallout 3 again, huh? Are you playing Fallout 3 or Fallout 3 New Vegas? I guess it is Fallout 3. You're playing Fallout 3. I haven't played Fallout 3 for the longest time. I've played Fallout New Vegas several times recently. Well, recently would be within the last 2 years. But I haven't played 3 for, oh gosh, quite a while. I've been debating getting Fallout 4 again. They have a Fallout 4 for oh god, VR, virtual reality, and I've been thinking about buying it and playing. I've been told that they've done a very good job with the VR on Fallout 4, and I've been thinking about buying it again. I've got several versions of it already, but I don't have the VR version. I do have the VR version of Skyrim. I did not enjoy it. I love playing Skyrim, but I didn't enjoy the virtual reality on it. Yeah, I've been surprised by games before. I'll tell you, talking about Grand Theft Auto, I have played those. I'll never record them, but I've played them. The only time I'd ever do anything with Grand Theft Auto would be maybe a live stream. I wouldn't record it. The one that surprised me though was I bought a copy of a game called The Crew. And I got to play in that, and I had quite a bit of fun playing that. And it's a driving game, kind of, sort of. Like, well, it's not like Grand Theft Auto, but kind of is. Hey, Braden, thank you. Appreciate that. Have I played what on Xbox One, Dustin? I only asked that because of the delay in the chat, because there's we've been talking about several different games. But The Crew, I tell you, you guys remember Big Hoss? I guess he calls himself Southern Boy now. He was very big in The Crew, and he got me playing The Crew with him. And I had a lot of fun. I didn't think I'd ever have fun with a racing game. It does have a lot of content. And you can literally, it's kind of like Red Dead Redemption. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption, and you have played Grand Theft Auto, they're similar in the fact that when you that they're so open world, like Grand Theft Auto Online, and well, even the regular one, the not the single player one, completely open worlds. You can go and do anything. You can play Grand Theft Auto for hundreds of hours and never do the quest line, the storyline. And it's the same way with Red Dead Redemption. There is some. I know this more on Red Dead than I do Grand Theft Auto, because I haven't played Grand Theft Auto for years. But with Red Dead Redemption, there is some of the storyline that you have to play at times because it lets you do other things. And I think probably the reason for that is it's more of some of the early quest line is more of a tutorial quest line. It's to force you into doing certain things that teach you how to play. So that being said, there are some quest lines in Red Dead Redemption that you need to do if you want to be able to do something else in the game that you need to do. Now, Grand Theft Auto, I just don't recall. But both of them are very open to play. Oh, heck yeah, Dustin. I played Minecraft since it came out, and heavily modded. I have I have my own server that has about 200 mods on. It's a family server. I used to have one that was open to the public, but I stopped kind of playing Minecraft a few years ago, and I dropped the server. But I do have a private server that I run, but it's family. It's just from my family. I haven't invited any friends or anything on it. No, I know what Crazy Craft is. It isn't Crazy Craft. I've had different ones throughout the years that I played. I remember one that I had a couple years ago where you could create a nuclear reactor. That was fun. And the damn thing could blow up on you if you weren't careful. I had a whole base powered by nuclear power. It was amazing. Daryl, that's what I remembered. I said, and that's why I didn't talk too much about Grand Theft Auto 5. I do know that it's very open world, very open world. You could just put hundreds, obviously you did, put hundreds of hours on it and never play the story at all. Now, I think that the thing with Red Dead Redemption is that the story is the game. And it's got a serious storyline to it. And so a lot of people, a ton of people are playing for the story. And I think that's why there's a limited amount of the game that you have to play some of the storylines before you can do certain things. Like there's a particular quest that you have to do before you can start doing some of the crafting in the game, for example. There are stables in the game that you can use to stable your horses, so that if you want to have more than one horse, you can stable them. Like you can have up to 3 or 4 horses, but you have to stable the ones you're not using. Well, there is a quest that you have to do with another one of the outlaws that will open up the ability for you to do that. And that's what I'm talking about. There's certain quests you have to do if you want to do a particular thing in the game. Other than that, it's completely wide open. Oh, where am I going? Oh, I'm going right. Never mind. It's up here. I forgot where I had to sell this stuff. Well, I was looking for Arctic Lynn. She said she might be in today. I haven't seen her yet, but I hope everything's okay with her and her family. I am lost again. Well, this game is a little weird. I don't know if you've noticed, but normally the game doesn't have windrow on corn. This game's got windrow on soybeans even, and so you can't store it. It won't go into storage, so you have to sell it. And this particular sell place here is made for corn stalks and soybean windrow. Man, my throat's getting dry. It's weird. I told earlier a little bit about what the weather's been like for me on the coast here. And you'd think that wet that you wouldn't have trouble with a dry throat or dry skin. It doesn't work that way, though, I guess. Maybe it's because people have the heat cranked up and the air gets dry in the house. That might be it. Because it's certainly wet outside. But yeah, my throat's getting a little dry. I don't know if you can tell. Ark. I'm a big Ark player. I've got some videos of me playing Ark on my page. See, that's the thing about my page. It's a little bitty page, but I got 3,000 videos up there. I lost count. I have to look. Last time I looked, I was close to 3,000. And I've got lots of Minecraft. I've got Ark videos up there that I played. I played a ton of games put up there, but Ark was fun. We had it pretty heavily modded though too. And I had my own Ark server too. Okay, this straw here I think is just wheat straw. Trying to get FS19 on the Xbox One, but my cousin has it, and I'm seeing if I can download from his account. I doubt it. I don't think FS19 works that way. It depends whether he got it on Steam, though. If you have a Steam account and you have access to the other person's, let's say I've got a Steam account and I give somebody the ability to log into my account, they can stream it from my my account. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. I wouldn't do that, but the Xbox store? Yeah, I doubt if you can do that. I'd be shocked if you could. Especially with Xbox. I can't imagine they'd let anybody do that. Oh, sure, you can always try anything. Yeah, I haven't played Ark for a while. I think there's some content I haven't even downloaded yet for Ark. Been a while since I played. I'm too busy. I play too many games to keep up. I can't tell you how many games on Steam that I've purchased that I've never downloaded onto my computer. I would say probably 90% of the games I purchased, and I've got probably 200 some games. I'd have to look. I don't know how many games I've got, but I would say probably 90 to 95% of the games I own on Steam, I've never actually even put on my computer. They just had a big sale, and I bought games that I thought I might play and never got around to it. I got a game, Vampire, that I wanted to play. I've never loaded it. I've got Coma. There's just tons of games that I wanted to play, and I bought them when they were on sale and have never even loaded them on my PC. Like, I've got all the Hitman games. I got every one of them. Never played Hitman. Never. God, what else? Yeah, that happens too. Well, and here's the thing. I'll tell you what. Here's what Daryl, here's the thing on that. I've got games that I played a little bit and stopped playing because I was meh. Here's my theory. I don't know if you guys have bought music, because you don't buy music the way you used to. It used to be you'd go into a store and buy a disc, a music disc, a CD. Or you would buy, if you're old school, you bought an album. But let's say you listen to a person on the radio and you like a song, right? And you go to the music store and you buy the CD. And you play the CD because of the one or two songs that you like that get the person put out. And you don't like any other song on the CD. I've done this many times. I bought a CD, I listened to the whole CD, and I kept going back to the two songs that I liked, that I knew. And I didn't ever listen to the other songs because I'd say, oh, yeah, I don't, the two songs on the album are really good, but the rest of them stink. I don't like the rest of them at all. And you never listen to them. Well, then, time goes by, and I get bored with the two songs that I bought the album for, and I start playing the album again months later, and all of a sudden I realize that those songs that I told people were no good are actually good, and I start liking them. And the next thing you know, I'm listening to the whole album, where before I took the album and threw it in the glove box because I only listened to the one or two songs I liked. I'm wondering if games might be a little bit like that too. So let's say you buy a new game and you load it up and you play it, but you're playing other games that you're having more fun on. And so you say, this is just kind of meh, and you go back to the games you're liking. And then you get tired of those games and you start playing that game again, and all of a sudden it kicks in. So, and the reason I'm saying that, one of the best games that I have ever played is The Witcher 3. I bought The Witcher 3 when it came out. I started playing The Witcher 3 maybe a dozen times over the last few years. I never got beyond an hour game time, and I'd stop playing. I couldn't get into it. And I'd go back to the other games that I was playing that I was having a lot of fun on. And then this last year, after all the years that game's been out, I decided I'm going to give it a fair shake and I'm going to play it for a period of time. And I got hooked on it, and I can honestly say it is one of the best games I've ever played. but it took me forever. And here's the problem. I would play The Witcher 3. I would load it up and I would start to play it, and I would think, oh, wait a minute, I played this for an hour, right? Okay. I'd load it up and I couldn't remember how to play it, or I couldn't remember what the story was, so I would have to start it completely over again. I did that about a dozen times. I would load the game up and I'd have to start it all over again because I couldn't remember how to play it or what the story was. So some of those games that you say are kind of meh, may grow on you if you decide that there's nothing else to do and you get into it. Yep, Arma 3, that's another one. Now here's the thing about games like Arma. I was just gonna say, you know how bad people ragged on Fallout 76? Does anybody know about Fallout 76? It's just god awful, right? Well, I bought it, and I have to say that the time that I did play it, I played with somebody that I had a lot of fun playing with. Although the game sucked, we had a lot of fun playing with the game together. As soon as that person quit playing, the game sucked and I stopped playing it. So Arma's kind of that way. If you find a group of guys to play with, you can have so much fun playing that you're not, it really, the camaraderie that you've got playing with somebody else on a game like Arma counts for a lot more than just whether the game's good or not. See, somebody loved Fallout 76. I thought it was just god awful. There's nothing to do in it. Somebody asked me, "Do you have fun playing Fallout 76?" And I said, "No, I don't have fun playing Fallout 76. I can make my own fun playing it, but I'm not getting any fun out of the game. There's nothing fun for me in the game. I had to make my own fun playing it." I know that sounds weird, but you just have to get in a frame of mind. You have to find somebody that you enjoy chatting with while you're playing a game, and you can go and do things together. Then it can be a little bit of fun. But to just log on to it and play, it's not fun at all. Yeah, Arma, you can really get into Arma. I used to watch some guys, and I really envied them playing Arma, because these guys were actual real military guys, and they were in the military together, and they were active duty guys, and they played Arma, and they each had a role. One of them was a pilot, one of them drove the vehicles, one of them was recon. I mean, they played it like it was real life. It was amazing. They would go on missions. It was just amazing to watch them. And they were so organized that as a team that they knew what each other person was going to do. Yeah, I go to the doctor. Doctor, my arm hurts when I do this. Well, Daryl, I'm being forced into it. We talked about this in the last couple of live streams. As a matter of fact, Scorpion said this is the perfect map for live streaming. Here's the thing. Look at this. If you haven't seen this before, this is the map. And this is called contour farming. And they do this in certain states. Wisconsin, Ohio, places like that, where the the ground, the terrain is such, and the weather is such that if they don't contour their fields, their topsoil can erode off their fields. So they have to conserve that, and the way they do that is by doing contour farming, right? So notice there are no field numbers on this map. There's absolutely no field numbers. So the game doesn't know where the fields are. The field I'm doing right now, what number is this? What field number is this? If I went to Courseplay wouldn't know what the hell to do because it doesn't know what field you're on. So you can't use Courseplay. And again, that's not entirely true because I could manually set a course on this field and then name it myself, field number 1. And then I'd go over to the next contour, call it field number 2. But you'd have to manually do each field. And then, because of the terrain, the trees, the bushes, the light poles, Courseplay would just be horrendous on this. So you're forced to do everything more realistic, let's say. I'm forced to have to do everything myself because I can't do Courseplay. I could do Courseplay to haul my fruit back to the farm, I guess. Because that has nothing to do with the fields. Although it kind of would, because I'd have to say that I'm on field number, well, I don't know. You'd have to name it somehow, wouldn't you? I don't know. But anyway, it's forcing me to do everything myself, so there you go. I've got to do my own plowing. I got to do my own straw pickup. Interesting. I got to get something. It's soup du jour time. My throat is dry. It's my last Mountain Dew. My wife won't buy me Mountain Dew. She'll let me drink a Mountain Dew with the live stream. I should live stream more. If I want Mountain Dew, I'd have to do more live streams. Because she won't let me. I told her that I wouldn't drink the Mountain Dew all the time. I tell you what, I'll just drink one Mountain Dew every time I live stream. And I only live stream 2 times a week, so. Oh, that is cold. So that's how I get away with having a Mountain Dew. No, she's home, but she doesn't know. I closed the door. She doesn't know. But I told her, I promised I wouldn't drink a Mountain Dew unless I was live streaming, and I'll only have one. Here's the funny part, though. She lets me drink. She lets me drink Dr. Pepper, and it's got caffeine in it too. I don't know if she realizes that. But I don't like Dr. Pepper as much. I do. I'm a pepper. I like Dr. Pepper, but I don't. It's not my favorite. I'd say that Mountain Dew is my favorite as far as flavor. My second favorite is 7-Up. And my third would be Squirt or Sprite. Although I don't like Diet Sprite. It doesn't taste right. I do have some Diet Coke, but I don't really like Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. Okay, Peasantville. That's not Pleasantville, right? It's Peasantville. Peasantville. I played a map called Pleasantville. Alexa, can I have a Mountain Dew? Oh, is that right? Well, that was worthless. She just told me it was a Pepsi product. I used to be a Pepsi-holic when I was younger, and I could have sugar. I drank maybe a 6 or an 8 pack a day of the bottled Pepsi. I like Pepsi in the bottle. I don't know if they even make bottled Pepsi anymore. Anyway, when I was told I couldn't have sugar anymore, but I could drink diet soda, I got a diet Pepsi, and it tasted so bad. And I said, heck with it, I'm not drinking anything if I can't drink regular Pepsi. And I never liked Coke for some reason. I guess it's all personal taste, you know. But I never really cared for Coke. And so I was literally out of, you know, I just didn't like the diet sodas at all. I got stuck in the hospital one time and they gave me a 7-Up. And I wasn't a big 7-Up drinker. But at that particular time, I must have been dying of thirst. That 7-Up tasted like manna from heaven. And that's when I started drinking 7-Up. And I didn't know what regular 7-Up tastes like, so I didn't mind the diet 7-Up. And I've been drinking diet 7-Up ever since because it's got no caffeine in it. Beer's number one. You could get O'Doul's. My dad used to drink O'Doul's. It's a non-alcoholic beer. If I had to drink between the two, Scorpion, I would agree. I could actually drink a diet. Well, I actually have to, because most of the time when you go into a restaurant, they'll have Diet Pepsi. A lot of the places will have Diet Pepsi. McDonald's has Diet Coke, but every place else is Diet Pepsi. If you go to a Kentucky Fried Chicken or a Taco Bell, now obviously Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken are owned by Pepsi, so of course you're going to have Pepsi products in them. I don't know who owns Arby's, but Arby's has Pepsi products as well. Beet juice. That's funny. Beer number one. Coke Zero or Pepsi Max. I've never tried those. I can tell you, this is my own personal opinion, the worst soda that I have ever drank in my life was a soda called Tab. It was god awful. And I had a friend of mine that's all he would drink. And that stuff was god awful. I wouldn't drink anything if that's the only thing I had to drink. Jolt? Yeah, Jolt was bad. Jolt was like having a glass of water and sticking your finger in an electric outlet at the same time. What was that beer they used to advertise where they had the bitter beer taste, the bitter beer face, where the guy would come up and his face would be all scrunched up? Can't remember what beer used that for an advertisement. Tab was awful. It just was god awful. Keystone, was that Keystone? I always thought Keystone was like the dollar store's version of beer. If dollar store sold beer, it'd be Keystone. That's what I used to think. Of course, America's beer is all green anyway. Keystone, you could brew that in a half hour and be drinking it. No aging there. Like I'd know. I don't drink, so I wouldn't know about beer. I've just been told that American beers are green beers. There's a reason why you have to drink our beer cold, because it numbs your tongue. You can't taste anything. All righty, I need to sell this stuff. I can't haul this back to the farm. I'm lost. Where's my farm? Oh, it's over that way. Bud and Miller look like pee in a bottle and taste like sucking on a wet paper towel. Well, that's what I've been told. But see, Budweiser's not American anymore. We sold out to a Bavarian company, I think. So you can't blame America anymore on Budweiser. Dustin's back. Yeah, Daryl, Lynn was on the last, not the last live stream on Tuesday, but last Thursday she was on. Her husband was diagnosed with stage 4. Oh gosh, what was it? Somebody help me out. Not leukemia. I can't remember. Anyway, he's very ill. And she's staying home to take care of him. So they're having a pretty tough time. And she sent me a message yesterday, said she was going to try to come on today, but uh-oh, I missed my turn. Hey, look, my crops are coming up. I'll have to go check the cotton out. We're going to go way down south and land of cotton. Is it still made in the U.S.? I didn't know that. But again, like I said, I'm not a beer drinker, so. Andy, yeah, Andy's been beer making lately. Oh, look, you can't see the product coming out. That's weird. Uh-oh, I hit a tree. Well, anyway, Daryl, talking about me playing the game in a different style. Yeah, that's why I'm having to do it, is because of this map. And like Scorpion said, it's perfect for a live stream because people are watching a live stream not necessarily for what I'm doing, but for the chat and that. So I could literally be doing anything and it wouldn't matter. So this keeps me busy, and everybody else is having fun chatting, and there you go. So it is good for that, because I can just keep working. I'm just working. You guys are just sitting back, drinking beer, and eating popcorn, letting popcorn farts. Whatever you do when you eat popcorn. Now there's something I haven't had in a long time, a decent bag of popcorn. There are a lot of trees on the farm. Andy said he was cutting down trees to beat the band. Yeah, I hit a tree. It was my fault. Damn tree jumped out in front of me, or behind me, one of the two. I need a backup camera. Marky's in the house. Marky says he's been playing 5M. Huh? I know. Well, I've had a lot of people tell me, well, if I did this, or if I played that game, or if I did something else, like game reviews and a live camera, or tutorials more, that I would get more subscribers. Well, I've never was in it for the subscribers in that sense. I am, because I'm having fun and I want to share the fun with others. That's why I do it. But if I had 5,000 people or 500,000 people, okay. I don't know what I'd do with 500,000 people, but I've had other biddy tell me, okay, you need to do this or you'd get more subscribers. Well, that's not fun for me. Well, I could do tutorials. I've done tutorials. But here's the funny thing. Some of the guys that I used to watch that actually played the game don't even play the game anymore. They just make tutorials. And I've seen some of them where they make a tutorial that's only 5 minutes long. And they'll come on and they'll say, okay, today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take this tractor and hook a weight to the front end and pull a trailer. And what? And I just laugh, and they'll get 1,000 views on it. It's like, what? What? Anyway. And game reviews, I don't really do game reviews because I'm not really that serious into the games to be able to seriously review it. You know what I should do? There's a guy I watch called The Critical Drinker. And I don't know if he's really in real life drunk when he does his videos. I don't know. He very well could be. I don't know. But his whole shtick is that he reviews movies and stuff and games while he's drunk. Or at least, he's acting like he's drunk. And he calls himself The Critical Drinker. But he's very smart, and the points that he makes in humor, he's very good at it. So he'll come on and he'll be talking about a movie that everybody hates. And he'll be talking like he likes it, but the stuff that he likes are it's kind of hard to say. It's hard to describe what he's doing. It's kind of like psychological stuff. It'd be like if you want somebody to walk up that ramp, you'll tell them that they're not allowed to walk up that ramp, and even if they were allowed to walk up that ramp, they're not strong enough to do it. Well, what's that person going to do? They're going to prove you wrong and walk up that ramp. Well, that's kind of how he does his some of his videos. He'll take a game that people don't like, and he'll say, well, I can understand why everybody likes this game. But what he's saying is different than what it sounds like he's meaning. It's hard to describe. It's hard to explain. I'm not doing a very good job of it. But he makes me laugh. He's really funny. And the points that he makes about the stuff he's talking about are pretty valid. Bill, what kind of fish do you have? All right, Scorpion, drive careful. Watch out for those other people on the road. Scorpion's leaving work and driving home, everybody. Say a prayer for him. He lives in Texas. Everybody's packing. There was some kind of road rage someplace I saw in the news. I don't watch the news because it's depressing, and you can't believe anything they say anymore anyway. But this was just something I heard locally that somebody put up on a YouTube page. Road rage. There was some road rage. Two guys driving along. I don't know what one guy did to the other, but the other guy stopped up the road, forced the other guy off the road, pulled out a handgun and was threatening him. The second guy also had a handgun. He did feel threatened, and he came out and shot the guy dead. And so, and the law's trying to determine, whether he did anything wrong. Because the law is pretty much like, if you come at me with a gun and I'm threatened for my life, I have every right to protect myself. And if I blow you away with my gun, I was justified because I was really fighting for my life. So anyway, they were trying to determine whether this guy was going to be arrested or not, or charged with anything. But yeah, road rage, something else. Like one guy said, who knows what the guy did? Just forget it. Drive home. If the guy would have just said, oh, that guy pulled out in front of me, if he'd have just said, okay, fine, and drove home, they'd both be, one of them wouldn't be dead. Well, I appreciate that, Daryl. And here's the thing. Recently, during some live streams, Gino's here. Hey, Gino. I haven't seen Gino for a while. Recently, in some live streams, I've had some new people that come in, and they look at my channel, and they say, wow, how did you ever get 5,000 subscribers? Well, I'm under 5,000, but I'm getting close now. And they don't understand it. And I said, well, a couple of things. One, I've got almost 3,000 videos up there for people to watch. So I've been very active on my YouTube page. I said the other is I have very loyal subscribers. Because obviously not everybody that subscribed to me in the past still watches my videos, or I'd have a whole hell of a lot more views on my videos. And I said I'd like to think that I'm a nice enough guy that they're loyal to me, and even though they may not watch my videos anymore, they still stay subscribed to me because they would like me. I hope. That's about the only thing a person can ask for. I do my best, and I do what I like and what I enjoy doing. I could do different things. I could play first-person shooters, although that's not me. I could do tutorials. I could do reviews of games. I could even scare everybody to death and put a damn live camera on, but I'm never going to do that. Didn't I have more to pick up? Anyway, I'm happy with what I got. I always said I only wanted 5,000 anyway. If I reach 5,000, I'm going to retire anyway, so there you go. I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. I think I'm done. Besides that, I'm not too worried about, because YouTube's going to kill itself. YouTube screwed up so bad. I just got an email today about 7 strikes on some of my Witcher videos. Now, it used to be that you would get a copyright strike on a song. Like, let's say in my video, I put a current song that's on the top 10 charts, and I don't have permission to do that. I'm going to get a copyright strike because that song doesn't belong to me. I can understand that. That's why I don't put music in my videos. But let's say I'm playing a game, like this game, and this is actually happening right now. I'm getting copyright strikes on my Witcher 3 videos, not for music, but for dialogue, where one character in the game is talking to another character, and somebody is claiming they own that. And they're putting copyright strikes on me, so I can't get advertising on that video anymore. If any advertising on the video goes to that person that says they claim that that portion of the video. I don't know how in the hell they're doing that, outside of the fact that it might be YouTube's algorithm themselves, because they do have bots that go through your videos, and if they see something that they think belongs to somebody else, this computer algorithm, they'll put a copyright strike on it for somebody, some studio. Like if they see something, like let's say you're playing Spider-Man, and they say, oh, that's something I think belongs to the algorithm, that's something I think belongs to Sony, they'll put a copyright strike on it for Sony. It's crazy, and that's happening more and more often. They stopped this last year, within the last year, they stopped recommending my channel. I get no recommendations anymore. So the only way somebody's going to come onto my page and be a new subscriber is if they accidentally find me. Because YouTube isn't recommending pages anymore. They're not supporting us in any way. It's just crazy. So eventually YouTube's going to screw themselves out of business. I understand. I read something about Amazon. Amazon has purchased the rights to some web page names, and two of them sound exactly like YouTube, only it's like Amazon Tube, something like that. I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember the exact names that they've purchased. So it's looking like Amazon might want to get into the YouTube business. And the only way to compete with YouTube is to be as big or bigger than they are. I mean, obviously there's been a couple of smaller businesses that have tried to put out a place where you can upload videos and do what you're doing on YouTube. And every time they do, YouTube and Google are big enough that they put the kibosh on it, and they run these people out of business. So there's no competition. So the only way that there could be competition is if there's some place that's as big or bigger than YouTube that wants to try to compete with YouTube. All right, let's see. I need to go check on my cotton. Let me kick my speed boots up a little bit. Let's see. Let's go up to 6. Turn that on. See if I can run a little bit faster. Okay, canola's ready to harvest. I'm going to go check on the cotton. I need to catch up on the chat, though, here. Too busy to play Pleasant Valley 4. Is that what you're playing, Gino? Serge is in the house. Hey, Serge. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I'm using Dustin's tractor, and I can put a copyright on me. Amazon has Twitch. That's right. Amazon owns Twitch. Amazon didn't start with Twitch, but they purchased it. You have a friend with that name? I've got a piece of equipment with that name on it. Well, Serge is glad to see you again. Is the cotton ready? Cotton's ready. Hey, cotton's ready. Let's see here. I need a harvester. Where's the cotton technology here? I'm lost again. Cotton. Am I missing cotton? There it is. Cotton. I'm going to use this one right here. I don't care what kind of tires are on it, I guess. Going to buy that. Head back out. I think I've already got a trailer to pick it up. This is going to bale it for me. So, you guys missing the Rudeman way. I can fix that real quick. I'm going to do something the Rudeman way. I'm going to take this cotton guy and put him out in the field. Oh, you cheater! You cheating! Yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing: they've actually made it harder than that, Daryl. You have to have 1,000 views a week on the video before they'll even look at it. Wow, a channel my size may take months for me to have 1,000 views on a video. I told Scorpion this last year. Oh, I love to watch this. Hang on, let me show you this. This is. I love this. I like to watch this thing get put together here. Put it back down. Whoa! I love to watch this piece of equipment. This is a big Hoover vacuum cleaner. All right, Bill. Take care, buddy. All right. I like to watch this thing work. It's just cool. I guess I gotta turn it on first, don't I? So, Gino, what have you been up to? You been traveling lately? Whoa, geez. I can't see where my field's at. All these trees. This is going to be hard because of the size of the header. It's going to be hard to keep track of where I'm at. Man, this thing really goes. You know what? Since I've had this particular map, I've yet to hire a worker. I don't know if a worker will know what the fields look like. I'm going to hire a worker. I am not driving anymore. Somebody else is driving right now. Let's see what happens. Oh, by golly, he may know what he's doing. Go to Thailand in May. That's not that far away now. It's getting towards the end of January now. I bought new equipment. This is old equipment. Serge is playing a lot of Warhammer. I got back into Final Fantasy 14. I've been playing a lot of that lately. Yeah, it's not a Rudeman hitter, for sure. But hey, it drives as fast as a Rudeman. I think I modified it to go faster. Wait till you guys see the trailer that picks up the cotton bales, though. I don't even think I bought it yet. Let me buy it. Let's see. Is it? I don't think it's cotton technology. If I remember right, I think it's forestry, maybe baling technology. There it is. This thing right here. You won't believe this thing. It stacks these big cotton bales up. You can put 20 of them on this. Stacks them up about 5 levels higher or better. It's hilarious. It's just hilarious. Now I gotta find something to haul it with. Let's see. What do I have in tractors? I wonder if this will haul it. Let's go see. We'll take this one out and see if it'll pull that trailer. I normally pull it with a pickup, but let me see if I can pull it with a tractor instead. That pickup I use is kind of wonky. Is it wonky or wanky? I ask that question every time I say it. I think it's wonky. Wanky means something else overseas. You guys do something else when you wank. I think it's wonky. It's something like that, Serge. Although I got in trouble with this one. I used it on one video and somebody said, "Oh my God, you're such a cheater." Well, why are you using that? I said, it's a personal thing. You don't have to cheat with the mod. If you like the trailer, just put 4 bales on it and call it quits and drive it to the shop. You don't have to put 20 on it. Why would you use such a trailer? It's because it's a good trailer. You don't have to use it, you know, like that. Just put four on it and pretend that that's all it'll hold. Darn it, I have a dry throat today. The only thing that's weird about it, see that blinking light, that safety light there? It never stops, even when it's not hooked up to a tractor or a trailer, or a tractor or a truck. Woohoo! I like this tractor. This is the Lamborghini. It's a good little tractor. I think I can't remember. I think it's just a medium-sized tractor, but it's got good horsepower. It handles well. It's a good-looking tractor. It really works well if you need a front-end loader. It works well with that. Need to get back to mowing some grass here one of these days. Hey, look, somebody put my mailbox back up after I knocked it down in the last live stream. Oh, I also got to figure out where to sell the cotton. Might have to put my own sell point in again. Hey Carl, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. All right, what's this guy doing? He's just working up a storm. Oh my God, did I miss a spot? Or is he going? What? Why is there a big swath out of this? Did he go all the way to the end? No, that's weird. I'm gonna have to watch and see what he's doing. He's yet to drop a bale, too. Alright, he missed a whole big swath out of there. Interesting. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. There goes my first bale. Look at the size of those bales. Operating position B. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So you can put 4 bales on this trailer, and then let's see. Is it 4? It holds 20, I think. I can't remember, but it'll go up sky high. It looks like a skyscraper going down the road. So he's taken that whole length down there. Interesting. I got to get this guy going here. The name of this map, Carl, Westby, Wisconsin. I always rely on Andy to put it in because he knows it. Westby something, Wisconsin. Or Wetsby. Maybe it's Wetsby. Okay, I don't need the corn header. I don't think. Let me drop that. Yeah, Westby, Wisconsin revised. Version 2. That's what this one is. It's contour farming at its best. Whoa! Almost hit my spray rig. Uh-oh. Did I go on the wrong side? No, I'm okay. Gino just downloaded the new NF Marsh 4X map. Alright, I'm going to start over here, I think. What? You first need to fold... Huh? Oh, I have the wheels up. Oh, I see. Well, no, stop. Get back up here. There we go. Put the wheels away. He didn't like it when I left the wheels down, I guess. Maddie, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Alright, I'm going to go around and do a headland here, at least one. Oh, there's a pile of junk got in my way. How's the wheat growing on that pile of junk? Don't you love the way this thing spreads the chaff? This is like a fan dancer or something. Just spreading it out the back. A little bit, Maddie. I've only got a few minutes left. I do West Coast. I'm West Coast. I I try to do a 1 to 3 o'clock. A number of my people that watch my videos, a large number overseas, and so I try to not do too late in the afternoon, or it's too late for them. I've already had a couple of them having to go to Betty Bye. But I got a few minutes left. I can't tell you how bad that makes me feel. I've said it before, but it really does. When I have somebody come in the last couple minutes of my stream, I feel bad. Well, oh, sorry, you just got here, but I'm done now. I really do feel bad. After I log off, I think, I feel so bad. I've been doing pretty good with the schedule, though. You guys know me. I don't do well with schedules. But I've been trying real hard to do my Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 to 3. And the only times I've missed recently were holiday, because of holiday. You know, Christmas and New Year's. What happened? Why did it stop? It's not full. That's weird. I don't know what's happening. Did I... what's going on? Anyway, I've been pretty good at keeping that schedule. Something's wrong. I wonder if there's different ripening times. Let me see. No, it says it's ready to harvest. Why? Why you no harvest? I don't know. Isn't that weird? Sorry, Daryl. and actually, you know, you're probably teasing about Rage unsubscribing, but it wouldn't. That's not why I get upset. I get upset because somebody came to see me and I'm gone. I mean, I feel I've let them down. In other words, I'm not worried about them unsubscribing. I mean, I can't control what people do. People either subscribe or they don't subscribe. I can't control that. I can try to put out a good product and maybe they won't, but I can't control what people do. So I don't worry about that. But I do worry about how I feel, and it really does make me feel bad when I end and somebody just gets here, because I feel like I've let them down. Isn't that weird? I think it's weird. Well, I don't know what's happening with this field. Why won't it let me harvest my fruit? Somebody got paid a heck of a wage. $300. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Well, I missed my trailer. I really did miss my trailer. I know it wasn't full, was it? Was it full? It didn't look like it was full. Blame it on Microsoft. 5:55. So you East Coast? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Well, now it's doing it. What? It wasn't full, I swear. I looked at the meter down below and it didn't look full to me. I can't see. Well, you can't really see very good in here either. Ohio, yeah, you're 3 hours ahead of me. Scorpion's in Texas. He's 2 hours ahead. Man, the windshield's dirty. I think I hit the fence. It's not cutting anymore, is it? What in the world? I don't know what's happening. Okay, I just hired a worker and they're not cutting it either. Yeah, Darth Smith says, heck with that. I'm not doing it anymore. Can't be full. I do have some like that. I have a dump truck that holds 3 million. Just a small dump truck. It's funny. This old 48, I call it. Let's see here. This old 48, I don't think it's that one. Let me see. That it might be. Yeah, it's this version. This old 48 holds 3 million, and it's just a little dump truck. It's a little dump truck like this. And I did that because I was using it on a farm that the fields, one field was a quarter of the map. And the map was a 4X map. So the fields were huge. One field was a whole quarter of the map. And so I had the combine held 1 million each one, and I had 3 combines running. So I could take this little dump truck, run out there, and hit all 3 combines and come in with a load. It was hilarious. Very, very realistic. Leif is here. Hey, Leif. Gallien. Is that JJ? Hi, JJ. What map are you on? It's Westby, Wisconsin, is what this map is. All right, I got to figure out why this thing isn't harvesting. It's crazy. I wonder if it's a north, south, east, west thing. Sometimes that affects games. Minecraft has a north, south, east, west flaw in it. If you build a machine that does a certain thing, it won't work if it's facing a certain way. Let's see if this will go this way. That's just crazy. Huh. I may have to harvest this with a plow because I break it. Yeah, probably. Let me hire a worker and see what he'll do at this point. Let's just see. I may just have to hire a worker, let it go, and plow the rest of it in if I can't harvest it. Could be the map. Again, if you look at the map, it is an unusual map. The fields are all contoured, all of them, and there are no numbers on the fields, so there's no way to tell what fields you're on. It's just there's no way. So I'm doing it in sections. You buy this section here. I bought this section here, and this third section here. And then there's a farm up here that I bought, this whole section right here, I think it is. And but there's no way you can't use courseplay because the fields have no numbers. But at any rate, guys, I hate to say it, but my time is up today. I'll be back on next Tuesday with farming. I'm still trying to pick a time on weekends that I can do some live streaming on Twitch or YouTube, one of the two. But my scheduled farming is Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I hope you enjoyed your time here, and I appreciate you keeping me company. Thanks for being here. I hope you had fun, and I wish everybody a good evening, and I'll see you next time. And Daryl, there goes Daryl. He's going to rage quit on me again. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everything you do for me. Have a good evening.